Hop in the whip and I hit these switches, see that chrome suspension. Look at the car, you know who did it, I don't have to mention. They know it's Alex from Hoppos. Custom work come from Hoppos.
So we went ahead and redid the battery racks. The battery racks were cut at 6.75 wide, 13 inches long. That will accommodate 3 Group 31s on the right, 3 Group 31s on the left. Then we also have 13-inch solenoid brackets that we did, as you can see over here in the corners on both sides. We did our main crossbar that's going across here. That guy is 73 inches. And then we did 2 smaller subframe ones, which could be seen right here. These ones were made at 18 inches. And we did these ones slightly longer. As you can kind of see, they're hanging off the trunk tray. And the reason we did that is we're going to come in and do another subframe underneath the actual main pump rack. So that's what we did right here. So the battery racks are all in. These are from the squares that we did earlier. So we're going to get it all welded up right now, get suited up, and get these all tacked in, squared up, and then we'll go from there. Call my fat ass in here. All right. So I somewhat squared it up earlier. I'm just going to double check all of our measurements again. As I'm doing this, I'm sitting here watching my level right here in front of me, making sure I got level front to back of the car and also left and right. Right now we're looking pretty squared up. So I got the main subframe on the backside welded up now. Gotta get my little stilts tacked in place now. And again, as I'm doing this, I'm also watching the bubble. So we've got those just tacked in place right now. Next one's up. But when you're doing this, this is normally what I do. Like I said, I kind of squared this up before the video. But the main thing, when I walk up the trunks, I always look in, and you see batteries crooked or pumps crooked, right away it's like, oh man. So make sure you guys are measuring twice, 3 times, 4 times, whatever it takes. Even if it's extra 10, 15 minutes, you might as well just do it. That way in the end, the finished product looks, everything's matching, it's symmetrical. You got the same gap on the left side that you do on the right side. So it's just the best way to do that. So again, you know, I'm sitting here, I got, you know, my 2 tape measures, I got my square, I got my level. This is all stuff that you're gonna wanna keep around while you're doing trunks. So I'm tacking the smaller subframe to the main battery still. A lot of guys weld the Stilton first, then do the subframes. I like to do it all at the same time. Because what happens when you go and weld it, I'm pretty sure if you guys have welded before, you guys sometimes you'll notice it, kick over one side as you're tacking. So I like to do it all together. Being that the longer bars are a little heavier, it's less likely to actually kick as you tack it. But just in case it does, again, we're going to measure it. And it did slightly kick a little bit, so this is where we're going to get the measuring tape. Now I'll actually tack the stilt going down to the frame. Alright. So left side's all tacked in. Do one more tap on the stilt. There we go. Alright, now on to the next side. I can definitely tell this guy's way off over here. I must have dropped it. We're a 4-inch off over here. Got that 11 1/4. And as you guys can tell, the tacks that I'm doing are real small. Not too crazy, that way if you do mess up, you could actually break it off or cut it off. That way you can still move it and get everything all squared up. So that's like the main thing. Same, come in and do the subframe one. There we go. So we're all tacked in now. I'm leaving the battery racks loose for right now, just doing the main subframe. That way, when I get my plate up, I can square it all up together and then make sure everything's all symmetrical, matching, and all good. So for now, I'm going to keep on welding this and jump you guys to the next step.
William Murder in the beat.
Skip out on showing you guys how we did this, the rack and everything, because this is purely just cosmetic. But battery racks are all welded in place. You did see me welding them up. This part right here you guys didn't see. It's just a purely cosmetic piece. But next step, I'm going to be shooting it, so going to get some color in this guy. So time to get that all mixed up and ready to go.
William Murder in the beat.
Alright guys, so we got the trunk all painted up. So now it's just waiting for it to dry. Next step, run the cylinder hoses from the front all the way to the back and get them mounted up. So that's what we'll be doing now. Alright guys, so we just ran the hose just from the bottom side of the fender well right here up. Just get enough slack, hook it up to your cylinder and get it all tightened up. We normally just get these hand tight for now to make sure we have enough slack, and then we do that for both sides, and then we'll continue to run it on the back side of the car. Now that we got the hose tightened up on the front, or just snugged up on the front cylinder, now we got the hose here. Of course, we're gonna have a lot of slack, so what we did is there's a factory drain hole that's right here. So we actually just did a hole saw. We did a 1-inch hole saw going up. Actually, sorry, 1.25 inch hole saw going up, and just gonna run our hose through there, just like so. And we bring it into the back seat. Right now, we're leaving the extra slack in there until we get everything mounted up on the bottom side. So just like that, and we'll continue on both sides. This is the clamp we're using right here. It's a 3/4 inch clamp. So I'll wrap around the hose. Stick my screw through there and get it lined up over here. I'm gonna try to get the hose as nice as tight and keep it underneath or right beside the actual body line. That way it's not visible. There you go. So got the passenger side all clamped up. You can see the hose is tucked away as far up as possible. That way if the car does lay out, it's not going to drag. We shouldn't have any issues with it. Nice and tight. So you guys see what I did here with the hose. Make sure you guys are doing this for both sides. So passenger side and driver side. If you're doing front back side to side, if you're doing front back corner corner, you're only going to have a single hose. But in this car, we're doing a double hose to the front. We are running number 6 hose 3/8. So that's why we're doing one on each side. Keep everything as symmetrical as possible. So make sure you guys do it for both sides, and then next step from here, being that we're waiting for the trunk to dry, next step for us is going to get the main ground ran, and we like to run the ground underneath the driver's seat, so that's what we're off to next. Next step, Vic just pre-made our quick disconnect for us here. So we got two ends. We're going to have a shorty end and the long end. The long end is going to be the side going to your batteries in the back. And you're going to make sure the one's coming from your battery is going to be the female side. Because if not, if it's the male side and it touches, what's going to happen is your car's going to automatically be grounded. So you want to always make sure that you're using the side, the female side, the one coming off the batteries. And the male side is going to be the one that's going to be connected to your seat bracket. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get it ready to run all the switches and the quick disconnect. So luckily Vic pre-made everything for us. We're just going to take out this door sill, and we're going to hope that the carpet's not glued down like crazy, because then if it is, then it gives us a real hard time running these cables. And on these, normally I like using hand tools because these are so thin and flimsy. A lot of times what happens on a drill, you go too far or go too fast, you end up smashing it down and bending it. Alright, so get this door seal off. see if we get lucky or not. Alright, we got lucky. So you can notice it's only glued down in the main area, which whoever did this upholstery means they did it right. That way you can see here, they already have other wires ran through this gutter right here. So it's a good sign for us because it makes it a lot easier. So get this ready right here and get our switch cord real quick. And we'll run our switch cord, we'll run our quick disconnect wire all through this gutter right here, and then put the seal back on so you can't tell that we did it. Running the cable right now for the quick disconnect, trying to get it and make it look as clean as possible, still keeping all the factory, while keeping the factory look, I should say. We also got the switch panel mounted. We mount on the left hand side, and our switches are all right here ready. So now that we've got the panel mounted, get the switches up there and run the switch cord along with this ground at the same time. That way once we finish it, we knock it all out at the same time, button it all back up, and we don't have to worry about touching this spot again. So we got the ground ran through there. Right now Vic's getting the switch cord ran up. So we had to remove the side panel right here, as you can see. He's running it underneath and gonna tuck it underneath the dash. That way you don't see any of the wiring. You can zip up what you have to underneath the dash so it's not visible. And then once he's finished up there, we'll go ahead and run the switch cord, the 9-wire, underneath the carpet with the quick disconnect in the ground in this little gutter. Take it all the way into the back seat. Right here. And we'll run it through the corner section of the trunk. So once we get this all ran in there, everything will be good. I'm just tucking it away right now. You want to try to get it as flat as possible, that way you don't have to worry about the seal not fitting. And the switch cord all ran. So Vic's gonna finish off the wiring and the running while just putting on the door seal. Again, we normally do these by hand, that way we don't bend these. These are real thin, so. And once you finish up with these 5 screws, the wiring tuck is all done right here. And you work your way onto the trunk. So you can see we left all the wiring back here. So you got your 9-wire here, you got your ground here, we have all your hoses. We leave everything here for right now until we get the trunk to all dry up. And then we'll actually put them back there. So as we're letting the paint dry, we're going to go ahead and get the back cylinders in place. So we get the pair of 10-inch. We also ran deep cup on here, so it's going to be a deep cup, 4.5 turns of coil. So we're going to get that up in the pocket. Push it all the way up, and our next step would be getting the coil and putting the cut side down. As you put the cut side down, you're going to make sure it locks into place on the rear end perch. And then get there you go. So you can see it lines up perfect right there. You do want to make sure that everything clears. And you're going to go ahead and repeat this for both sides, and that will knock out the back for you. So once you're done with this, go ahead and make sure everything's tightened up. And then next step from there would be putting the rims back on and dropping this car back on the ground.
Now, I know you guys wanted to see the wiring and the hookup of the batteries and the solenoids, but we did opt out to skip out on that part. That way you guys don't misinterpret the polarity of the batteries, the positive and the negative, and as far as the hookup of the cables. We don't want to have any issues with wiring or people getting hurt because of misleading information.
The West Coast, been candid paint dripping, lane switching, grain gripping, and when we swinging, we be hitting back bumper with oldies bumper, lay back smoking and sipping, chilling, not giving a fuck, rolling slow down the block, while driving reckless as a motherfucker, dodging the cops, in them solid big bodies, or convertible rag tops, doing them West Coast things that ain't gon' stop, and fuck chopping up cars, we ain't chopping off shit, we rather roll stock than the block, there's some shit that don't fit, we on that old school tip, so respect the classy, I'm talking when you see the whip, you break your neck if you pass me, and some ain't hip to the shit that we kicking the gear, sound sounding like a roar from the torque with a posse in the rear. So watch the big body move, even with shoes and steel. And for the ones that already know, roll with me banging on wheel. Well, I'ma send this to the ones in them old schools dipping that already knows that the West Coast been candy paint dripping, lane switching, grain gripping, and when we swinging, we be hitting back bumper with old bumper, lit back smoking and sipping. I'ma send this to the ones in them old schools dipping that already knows that the West Coast been candy paint dripping, lane switching, grain gripping, and when we swinging, we be hitting back bumper with old bumper, lit back smoking and sipping. Now for the real OGs in they brum still banging, hitting switches smooth, banging corners, one wheel hanging, acting like they in the prime, not giving a fuck about aging. Keeping up with the next generation that's now scripting, daydreaming, still on point as their wheels are rotating, staring at the world and they really just thinking and contemplating. No money to be making, cause it's already made. Now they flossing, glossing colors, looking tasty like Kool-Aid. What it do, man? I'm more like, what up, young blood? Just soaking the game up in a real way, cuz so I can spit this shit for niggas wrong on what it was, what it is, and what it should be for niggas like Trey Nut. Coming up in the game as a young and seeing a lot, like G's and white tees and khakis dragging on the block. Niggas with cars to hop, I'm talking about real swinging. So for me, I'm giving props for those West Coast banging. Well, I'ma send this to the ones in them old schools dipping that already knows that the West Coast been candy paint dripping, lane switching, grain gripping, and when we swinging, we be hitting back bumper with old bumper, lit back smoking and sipping. Well, I'ma send this to the ones in them old schools dipping that already knows that the West Coast been candy paint dripping, lane switching, grain gripping, and